make you notice me. Let me be real here. When I see you, my heart starts racing, but I don't know if I like this chasing and playing and waiting around. It's a shame that my hands start shaking all of the time when you're around me. But this time, girl, I know what's bothering me. I need somebody to love. Oh, nah, 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 nah. Don't you see what's wrong with me? I need somebody to love. Oh, oh, nah, nah. I don't know what I could say to convince you to hang around when you don't have to. There's so much that I'm still keeping to myself, 'cause you don't listen, babe. But still you got me missing you. When I see you, my heart starts racing, but I don't know if I like this chasing and playing and waiting around. It's a shame that my hands start shaking all of the time when you're around me. But this time, girl, I know what's bothering me. I need somebody to love. Oh, nah, 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 nah. Don't you see what's wrong with me? I need somebody to love. Oh, oh, nah, nah. God, I'm sick of this waiting. You got me going crazy tonight. So why don't you come on over and be my somebody to love? Somebody to love, somebody to love, somebody. I need somebody to love. I need somebody. I need somebody. Give me somebody, somebody to love.
Well, you know what, Mike? I hadn't got the StreamYard thing figured out, and I desperately was trying to figure it out, which one I was, but it didn't work out like I really, really wanted it to. I kind of figured out whenever I'm doing when we got ours there. But anyway, well, welcome, man. What's going on?
Nothing much. Thanks for having me. Hope you're having a great night tonight.
Well, thanks for having me on your channel too. See,
Oh, no problem, man. I appreciate it.
this is a collaborative effort. Now, before we even get deep into this, let me just set the record straight. Felicia is not here tonight, so I'm running solo, and that is because my oldest daughter, Kara, her and her husband were going to look at some houses and stuff for the first time because they got a baby on the way and that sort of thing. And
Congratulations.
Well, thank you. She asked Felicia if she would go with her. And I said, you know what? Mike's going to be on tonight. We're going to just hang out, me and him. So
that's a good thing, because with just me here, without her, she might have been a little scared with me on here. I know Kurt's brought me on a couple times without Marsha because he knows I scare everybody. So it might be a good thing.
I don't think you would have scared her, but here's the thing. I just wanted to say, and I don't know if Paul Vines is in the house yet, but if I need to, Paul, if you get in here, Paul, if I need to, and Meg, you can tell Paul if he's not here. If I need to put, where's it at? If I need to put the white hat on for Paul, I will, because I know he likes the white hat. I don't think it'll have the same effect, but I'll put the white hat on. So, but anyway. So Ben, you've been doing all right?
I think Paul commented. He said Greg put on the white hat.
Well,
he didn't, but I mean, I kind of want to see you in the white hat now.
Yeah, we'll I don't think it would have the same effect. But man, we're streaming on both channels. There's at least 153,000 people in the chat tonight, so we're gonna try to get through here and say hello to everybody. Now listen, my daughter is in here. She's supposed to be going. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna put you up for a second.
I'll talk to the people. What's going on, everybody? It's Friday night wind down. How's everybody doing tonight? My name's Mike, and I'm on SCT Adventures. I stole the show. Y'all already know, right? Like, it's Friday night. Everyone should be feeling good. have a couple drinks. I hope everyone is going to have a fantastic weekend. And there is the white hat. Yes, that is what I wanted to see.
Well, see, here's the white hat for you, but this wasn't the reason I went back there. I got to move out of the way. Hold on, maybe I'll go this way. You can't really see it because it blurs out. But right here, this past week, we received in the mail a light up Baby Yoda. Maybe if I go back here.
Is that what's flickering?
Try to dim it a little bit. There. But we'll dim Baby Yoda. But we got a light up Baby Yoda. Y'all see Baby Yoda back there?
Oh yeah, look, you can start seeing him come into focus now.
Yeah, so we got the light up Baby Yoda in the mail. So we got a pretty good idea who we think that was from. So, but thank you. But I was reminded in the chat that I needed to turn on the light up Baby Yoda. So the light up Baby Yoda is on. Let's say hello.
Great. Everybody likes Baby Yoda.
Say hello to everyone in the chat. So right off the bat, Meg was in the house. Hey, Meg. Shane Nordgren, our buddy Shane. Glad to see you. Shane's going to be on the booze cruise with us. You'll get to meet good old Shane. Kara, who is supposed to be looking at a house right now, not in the chat because she took Felicia away from us. Also, Marsha from See Me Traveling, who's going to be on the booze cruise with us. If you're going to be on the booze cruise with us, y'all put in here #booze so we can acknowledge, because Mike's going to be on the booze. We're going to talk a little bit about that tonight.
I'm going to be on the booze cruise. Yeah. I can't wait. I'm excited for that cruise, man. There's a lot of events that we have scheduled and planned and all that. I really look forward to that cruise. And I look forward to it because I get to meet so many different creators and so many, people from different walks of life. So I'm really looking forward to that cruise. Yeah,
I was on the phone with Bruce and Kurt this week, and we were counting them up. 20 creators that we have that's going to be on that cruise, which is that's insane to me to think we got that many. Mike, go ahead.
To think when you guys brought it to my attention last year, it was only 4 or 5 of you, and now you got over 20 creators going. So that's pretty cool.
It's crazy. Aaron, hey Aaron, we'll jump down through here. There's Captain Billy J. Captain chose to go. He chose to go on a different group cruise. Just saying, he chose wrong. That's all I'm gonna say. Tom's in the house. Hey Tom. There's Mike. Let's see who else we got. We'll rush down through here. Mary Ellen Dillon. Hey, Mary Ellen. Miss Mid. Let's see. Chuck Spencer's in the house. Kathy L. Darlene Reese. Hey, Darlene. Ron. Ralu69. We'll get through here. Kurt from See Me Traveling. Mr. Curtis. How are you, Kurt? Hope you're doing well, Curtis. BTT's in the house. Hey, BTT. Chuck Spencer. Hey, Chuck. And I see some of these linked from your channel. It's neat because it shows it in StreamYard. Who's from where? Is it showing that on your site?
It shows in StreamYard, but usually when I go live, I'll pull up like the YouTube chat for like the live. So I see the chat over here, and then I have the StreamYard chat here that I can see where it's coming from both channels or what channel.
I got 3 monitors. Normally I pop out the chat and put it up here just in case I need to add a moderator or anything like that. Here, it's like a space shuttle cockpit in here. Traveler Bus is in the house.
I need me a
Barry Brain. You get to see who Barry Brain potentially is on the booze cruise.
Listen, there's no potential. I've literally went back because I know you said who it was in like November or December, and I've watched every Friday night wind down from like October. I'm starting to get into November, and I'm like, all right, maybe it's going to be on this one.
I gave away who Barry Brain was on one of our lives. Felicia kicked me, and yep, I sure did. I caught it just in time, so you had to be quick to catch it, but I did give away who Barry Brain was. But you got to go back and find it.
Yeah, I'm searching, man. I'm searching.
That's funny. Yo. Look who's in the house. Eddie Lugo.
Brooklyn in the house.
Brooklyn in the house. See, that's where Felicia was wanting to know if
Yoda was on.
If Yoda was on. All right, we're going to jump down through here because we got a lot to talk about. If I missed your name, just let me know. Say, hey, dummy, you missed me, and I needed a shout out.
Barry Brain said, ask BTT. Now, Denise has been doing the same thing I've been doing. We were having a conversation about this 4 or 5 days ago. So, if Denise, if you figured it out, you got to send me a private message so we can continue this conversation.
Darlene said hashtag booze. Marcia said hashtag booze. Kurt said hashtag booze. Traveler Bust hashtag booze. Mary Ellen Dillon said, when is the booze cruise? When is the booze cruise, Mike?
The booze cruise is October 29th out of New Orleans on the Carnival Glory, and it's going to be a great time. So it started out as a very small, tight-knit little group, and then it expanded to this large, now major event going on out of New Orleans. So
it's crazy how I really wish we had a count of exactly how many people were going, but it's kind of hard. So especially we were kind of tracking it with the Facebook group, and then a bunch of people joined the Facebook group. So we really have no idea how many people are kind of with us.
It's hard to keep track with it, but I know no matter what, it's going to be a great time. It's going to be awesome. There's a lot of fun events scheduled. There's a lot of things that are going hand in hand with the events. Some giveaways, some things like that. So it's going to be a great time. And I'm really looking forward to that cruise.
Mike Weeda said he wishes he could make the booze cruise one of these years. Yep, Mike, we wish you could make it too. Barry Brain said he's going to reveal. Yes, we believe you, Barry. So Paul says, howdy, driving and listening. Team White Hat. I wore the white hat just a minute ago for you, Paul. I did. Felicia's not here, but I did put it on for you. Yeah, Mary Ellen, it is the same as the non. That's right. We leave the day the non gets back, I think. So
yeah, we leave the same day that the La Lita Loca group cruise, Halloween group cruise on the Celebration goes off.
Robin Allison. Hey, Robin. Eric B's in the house. Hey, Eric. Did I say Chuck Spencer? I'm
Chuck
losing track
Spencer.
of who said hello to.
Yep.
Richard Santini. I think I'm getting down towards the bottom here so we can jump into some. Meg says she's been researching too.
Yeah, we need to start a Facebook group called Who's Barry Brain. And then just everybody just collaborate and put your ideas together.
Yeah, I know. I didn't do my due diligence in researching whenever I came up with the idea and approached the other creators about doing this cruise, and I should have been paying a little closer attention, but it just worked out that way. But next time we're all going to get on one together for sure. That's Scott Smith's in the house. So we are at the bottom. If I missed your comment and it was really, really funny, post it again, but it has to be really, really funny. Not you, Captain. Yours are never really that funny, Captain. So anyway,
shots fired. 13 minutes in and shots fired with Captain already.
So we're on here. It's the first time we've been on a live together, and I've been watching some of your vlogs, trying to catch up on them. And great content, by the way. Really
Appreciate
good,
that.
really good stuff. And you've been on some really cool cruises, might I add. But I wanted to ask you, how in the heck did you get started in YouTube? What made you decide to start filming all this stuff?
So I started cruising when I was at such a young age, right? So my parents started taking us on cruise ships when I was 10, 11, 12 years old. Cruising has been a part of my life since I was a kid. So I started with Princess. They currently are the one I have the highest loyalty status with. But I decided one day when I was still living up north, I was driving a truck for the post office, and I was going from Philadelphia to New Hampshire and back every day. We got a real bad snowstorm, and I'm like, you know what? That's it. I'm done. I'm moving to Florida. So my goal was to move to Florida and go on as many cruises as I possibly could to create content. Well, once I moved to Florida and I had my first cruise booked, I get to Fort Lauderdale. I get ready to get up in the morning at the hotel. I check my email, get everything going. 10 minutes after I check my email, I get an email from Princess. Cruise was canceled. That's when the pandemic hit.
Oh, man.
So the whole concept of creating content for cruising and all that went out the window. So if you go and you look at my channel history, it'll show you that I created my channel many years ago before I even posted any content, because the shutdown came and took all that away. Once the shutdown was lifted and they started cruising again, I went on a La Lita Loca Halloween group cruise. That was my very first cruise back into the restart, and it was my very first Carnival cruise. And I was sitting there having a conversation with Tony, and he's like, man, just pick up a camera and just do it. Like, this is what you wanted to do. This is one of the reasons you moved to Florida. Just do it. And I did nothing on that cruise. Well, that following February, I was on another cruise with them, and he was like, look, man, just do it. So I sat down with him, and he talked me through a few things. And ever since then, I've been filming everything. And in the beginning, I was like worried about other people looking at me funny and all of that. And I always had that concern, right? Like, oh, what are these people thinking? But now I just do it. It doesn't bother me with other people looking at me. I'm a big firm believer in you have to be a product of the product. So if you want to sell something, you have to be that something, right? So my whole goal with the YouTube world and YouTube space and creating content is to just be myself, but entertain people that are around me while I'm doing what I'm doing. So if you're going to watch me, you're going to get a show from me filming what I'm filming. So not only are you going to be able to watch it on YouTube, you're going to be able to sit like right there and see like, all right, this is a guy who actually like likes doing this and doesn't really care what other people's opinions are. And he just goes and he films and he has a good time. And I tell the truth, like I'm not here to, bull crap a baker to get a bun, right? Like if I don't like it, I'm going to tell you I don't like it. Like that's just the way it is. Right. But it's one thing that I actually enjoy a lot, and it brings me like that sense of peace, right? So I stress when I'm home about editing videos and all of that, but when I'm filming the video, there's like no stress. It's like I'm enjoying the process from start to finish, but I stress on the editing part. But the whole filming process and all that, I absolutely love it. And people stop and they ask questions, and people have some weird questions, but it is what it is. Like, this is what I want to do. I eventually want to get out of a truck and make this full time. And I'm at that point in my life where I'm still young enough that I can do that, but I have to become more consistent with dropping my content versus filming the content.
Yeah, we kind of had the same path with the whole pandemic thing. We started it right before the pandemic. And so you kind of see that line of if you go back to our analytics and look at the timeline, you see that just kind of barely meandering straight line. And then as soon as they started cruising back, you see that spike straight up and we started gaining subscribers and that sort of thing. And I'm kind of like you. It's kind of weird because I can take the camera out here and go anywhere in public, and I'm kind of self-conscious about filming and people looking around, but on a cruise ship, I don't feel that way at all.
Right.
It just seems natural on there. And the way we do it is just, I don't know. We document our life throughout the day, and I don't film 24/7 on the ship. We just kind of go around and I'm like, oh, we're doing this. Let me just start the camera and talk to it, and we just film kind of what we're doing, because our perspective on it is, at the end of the day, I want to have enough filmed that was almost an accurate depiction of what we did during the day.
What you did throughout the day.
Like they were hanging out with us and they came along with us for the day. And so my motto with Felicia, and she kind of hates it at times, is I don't do retakes. So that you'll never see a time that, like when we start our mornings, we try to start a morning and we do a morning and we do a closing. If I hit that camera and we start it, there's been very few times, even once or twice, but that's what we got. So right. She has to be ready and I have to be ready because I want it to be real.
That's a big thing with me. Like I retakes because sometimes I'll catch myself like stuttering, or I'll say the wrong word. Like when I was on the Pride, I was like, oh, that's it. We came through and we're getting back on the Paradise. I'm like, I'm not on the Paradise. I'm on the Pride. But the Paradise was in dock with us.
Yeah. But but the cool thing about that stuff, and people make fun of me all the time, especially Captain. Let me just throw that out there. But I've got one of the funniest things is, Captain says I have people give me weird looks when they see me free windshield on my camera. I tell them that's my play. I've had people stop me with our camera, think it's a pet dog or a pet kitten because of the dead cat on the mic.
Yeah.
But you talking about that, some of the funniest things and that have stuck with, especially our Facebook group and our friends and people that watch our videos. We got late on the ecstasy whenever we cruised on the ecstasy. We got there and it was the second sailing of the ecstasy back out of Mobile. After the pandemic, and it was late getting back, late leaving. We weren't leaving Mobile till like 9 o'clock at night, 9:30, 10 o'clock, whatever it was. And I'm standing there and I've got Mobile in the background. And for whatever reason, we were exhausted. We've been traveling all day. It was late. And for whatever reason, I'm holding the camera and I made a comment about it being Birmingham, the port of Birmingham or something like that. And I left it in there because I thought it was funny. And to this day, I've even got a short out there about it. It's funny how people will take that, because I put something out about, is this Mobile or is this Birmingham? And some people get it. And then you got others that get downright mad. How in the world could you think that's Birmingham? This is my city. Who would mistake that for Birmingham? And you have to go.
And it's tough because you want to tell them, people, like, lady, I'm human. Like, it happens. We make mistakes. So that's why I constantly film a retake if I mess up, because I don't want to have to explain myself to somebody. I'm a human. I make mistakes. I'm not a robot. Every human makes mistakes, right? Like, you're going to call a city that's not the city. You're going to name a ship a different ship when it's not the ship. I mean, they all look the same, right? They're red, blue, white with funnels. So, Paradise Celebration, it's a carnival ship at the end of the day. I'm on a cruise. I'm here. I'm having a good time. It is what it is.
Aaron said the pandemic really pushed a lot of people to the YouTube machine and the live life. It was our way to hang out. And he's true. That did. A lot of people were reaching out. I think it benefited a lot of creators too, right afterwards as well. People were hungry for that content. Thank you, Shannon.
Sure.
Richard Santine said, when is the next group cruise? My wife and I are looking to make new friends. There's quite a few group cruises coming up. I think Eddie's got one planned. There's several. Just catch some lives. Different people have them.
Ours is the booth cruise, and then I got one in February.
Yep.
I do
you
my
got one coming
cruise.
too? Yeah, check out the Nauti Cruiser Mike's Facebook group. I'm sure you got it posted on there, don't you, somewhere?
Oh yeah, it's on there.
Yeah, feel free to promote it, and check out all these different cruises. I know Bruce with Ocean Travel's got some posted too, so there's plenty of them out there. I said juicy one time. That stuck. My goodness.
I don't know who was it. I was live last week, and I think it was Blaine, right? Blaine. I was talking about on the last cruise, there was a lot of good things I put in my mouth and I ate, and Blaine just went with it the rest of the night. And I'm like, man, it just came out. It was quick. It was just the words that popped in my head. And now I'm regretting even saying what I said.
Mike Weeda said the ecstasy video is what brought him here. Sailed her last year and was researching, drove through Birmingham to get to Mobile. There you go. You went through the port of Birmingham, Mike. That's where you went through to get there. But appreciate it. Did anyone hear how Pride made out leaving their port? Think Ireland early ahead of bad weather forecast? I have not heard, Robin. Maybe somebody in the chat has.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything on the Pride.
Barry, I think Greg blinked sideways. What? The Terminator does not cry. Eric B said, I started my channel during the pandemic. I was motivated from watching lives like Walter's World, To Travel Tour, and getting new other channels. Hey, if y'all haven't checked out Travel Adventures with Eric B, Eric's got some cool content from all over the world. Man, go check out Eric B's channel. He's got some cruise content too, but his stuff from traveling is really awesome. Just telling you. He'll make you hungry too. Just saying. Eddie posted his booze cruise he's got for next year. So the other thing I was going to say, well, you already answered it. I mean, I got a list of questions over here, but you already answered one of the ones I was going to ask you was, how'd you get into cruising? But you said you've been cruising your whole life.
Yeah, I've been cruising since I was a kid, man.
How many cruises do you think you've taken, or do you know the exact number your whole life?
So far, I've been on 43.
43 cruises.
43 at 34.
Wow. So you said Princess was the most.
Princess has been the most. Yeah, Princess has been the most. We started when I was a kid. I was 10, 11 years old. Very first cruise. Absolutely fell in love with it. And I fell in love with it on a cruise line that wasn't geared a lot towards kids, right? So like at my age, we would have been stoked to go on Carnival with the water slides and the sky rope course and all of that. But Princess didn't have that when I was a kid cruising. Now, their first ship, the Sun Princess, is coming out with that whole family vibe with the water slides and all of that next year. So it's cool to see them transition into a more of a family-based cruise line than your, upper I don't want to say like stuck up, but like your next level Carnival Corporation cruise line. So they would compare with like Celebrity, right? So how like Royal would be the family friendly, and then Celebrity would be the next one up. Princess would be that with the Carnival Corporation.
So out of all of them, what's your favorite that you've been on?
Out of all of the cruises I've been on, I would have to say my favorite cruise would have been the Carnival Celebration Transatlantic.
For some reason, I had that in the back of my mind that you were going to say that, because I don't know if you remember, but who was it? Was it Josh?
Yeah, Josh invited me on the live.
I
Talking about the celebration, and you and Kurt were on there. That's how I met you guys, was through that live.
Kurt and Josh that were on there with you that night, and I was like, how cool is this? You're out in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, and we're sitting here chatting, and you're taking us on a tour around the ship. And I was like, that's really cool.
Yeah, that would have to be the coolest, because it's like, that was the first cruise that I've ever got on where I stepped foot on a brand new ship. I was one of the first people on a brand new ship. It was my first time being over in Europe, my first time being in London, my first time seeing any other ports other than the Caribbean was that vacation. So that trip alone holds that little special spot in my heart, because that's the first time I ever flew that long. There were so many firsts with that trip, and it was just, it was an awesome experience being able to get to Southampton and see John Heald and Christine Duffy and have a speech, and then talk with Christine at the Jubilee bar for about a half hour, 40 minutes, and just have a conversation. It was nice to be able to do all that. So that would have to be like my number one cruise. And it was the first cruise I've ever experienced the platinum party, right? So Mary Ellen Dillon invited me as her +1 for the platinum party.
Mm-hmm.
And the show they put on was amazing. So that really like stole my heart. That whole 14-day experience pretty much is what wrapped everything up. So, and I'm hoping I get to do that again in December with the Jubilee. I know it's not a transatlantic, but
Still be nice. Meg says she's been on 7. So how about you guys in the chat, if you want to, put how many cruises you've been on and what your favorite ship was. I'm curious what you guys in the chat would say to that, because I think we've been on 9 or 10. I've lost count, but I'm struggling on our favorite ship. Richard Santine says he's leaving November 5th on the Valor, and the Valor is probably, strangely enough, it's not the biggest ship in the world, but for some reason that's probably my favorite ship so far. For some reason, I don't know what it is. It's not got anything special from any other ship out there. Maybe it's because it goes down the Mississippi a couple times we've been. It's just something about that ship. I don't know.
Going down the Mississippi is an experience in itself, man.
A young fellow working with me told me about a trip around the Western U.S. they took during the days of the Masbo 19. Interesting. What did Meg say? That was a cool live. It was. Yeah, we had fun on that. Mike says 1 so far for him. Shane says 6 and loved the Radiance and Valor. The Radiance, when it was the Victory, was our first cruise ship we were ever on. Eric said Celebration will be his second. So far, the Horizon has been his only cruise. Meg says her favorite one is the Miracle. Captain says he's been on many ships, only 7 cruise ships, but adding 1 more this year and 2 more next year, maybe 3. Barry's not going to give out any information if he can help it. 2 so far, 3 in October. Cap said Carnival Dream. Richard Santine said we were looking around first next year. The Valor was our second cruise. Our first was for our 10 years on the Breeze. 25, and it's the Celebrity Beyond. Yeah, I really want to get on Celebrity. Have you cruised Celebrity?
Celebrity is one I want to get on. So this year I made a list of the cruise lines I wanted to hit. I wanted to hit Celebrity. I wanted to hit Virgin, and I wanted to try and get on Holland America this year. None of them have happened yet, but I mean, it's only August, right? We still have a few months left in the year. So
how much vacation time you got? How does this work? I mean, let me back up. How do you get so much time off to go on so many cruises? That's what I want to know your secret.
So getting the time off isn't necessarily like a hard problem, right? So like the company I work for has been very awesome with getting me my vacation time off. Now, not all of it's not paid, of course. I only get 2 weeks paid vacation a year. So every time I go away, I'm taking a hit with the paycheck and all that. But I'm blessed to have a great boss and a great company to work for. My boss, if he can make it work, he will absolutely get me the time off. Now, like with anything else, right? One hand washes the other. They call, they need a favor, I'm right there. Like today, they needed me to do a different run. I was right there to do the run for them. So they helped me out. There's been some times this year where he was like, I can't do it. And I'm like, well, I'm sorry, it's booked and it's paid. Like, we have no other choice at this point, right? And he's like, well, see what you can do. And I see what I can do. And I can't do nothing because I'm not going to miss the trip, right? Like, that's the big thing. So, but he always manages to make it work, man. And he helps me out. Now, this year has been a lot less than last year. Last year, I went on 12 cruises total last year. So it was a lot more time off last year than it was this year.
Yeah, I only have 2 weeks. I think next year I finally get my third week, and there's some other stuff going on. I may get as much as 4 weeks next year, so we may step it up a little bit. So up until now, we've been just trying to stretch it out to try to get 3. When you got 2 weeks vacation, that's all you've got. We've been stretching it out by doing 4-day cruises that start on Thursday. So you only have to take like a couple days at a time, and so but that limits your destinations, because those 4-day cruises, you're getting Nassau and
Bimini
and a private beach or Bimini or something like that. Right. So we're anxious to go to some other places.
And that's the tough thing with me. Like, I work Monday through Saturday, so my only full day off during the week is Sunday. But I don't go until Monday afternoon. So if I can get a little one that's Thursday through Monday, I can work Monday with no problem. I would just take that Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So I'd get that 3 days off for a 4-day cruise or whatever it would be. But I mean, if they can make it work, they'll get me the time off, and I'll help out here and there and do what I can to help them out, make their life a little bit easier. But I don't always expect it, man. Sometimes it's a push and pull, back and forth tug of war to make sure I get that time off. But, so far so good. And they treat me right, man. It's a good company to work for.
That's cool. Chuck said he's been on 10 cruises, got 3 more booked already. Well, that's cool.
Yeah, I met Chuck Spencer on a cruise.
He said Mardi Gras is where he met you. Mm-hmm.
Chuck's my casino buddy, Greg. He's the one that sits next to me and tells me to put more money in the machine. Don't get up, put more money in the machine. And listen, it's twofold. I do the same thing with him. So
Robin Allison said 12 for me. Love the Pride, just the right size and everything we like to do. I've heard the Pride's a great ship.
Pride is an amazing ship. Absolutely amazing ship. I did a back-to-back on the Pride this year, and it was phenomenal. I absolutely loved it.
So Richard Santine said, looking at different cruise lines to go on, any suggestions? So, I mean, we're really wanting to go on Celebrity and Royal. We haven't been on those two. So we've been on MSC a couple of times, and we enjoyed them. You can't beat the free Wi-Fi and drink packages they have on MSC.
Oh, man, you can't beat MSC prices even if you wanted to. It's just for MSC to make the cost of cruising in like this bundle package with a drink package, Wi-Fi, and onboard credit at such a great cost, you really can't argue with MSC, right? And they have one of the best private islands in the whole cruising industry. So
absolutely. Mm-hmm.
It's one of the best ones to try out. Just go into it with an open mind if MSC is your thing, because there's a lot of people that really don't agree with the food or don't agree with certain things. But just go into it with an open mind. MSC is a European-based cruise company that is breaking ground in North America. They're breaking ground in Texas very soon. They're going to be in Alaska before you know it. And it's one of my favorite cruise lines, man. I absolutely love MSC. So MSC will be great. Princess is phenomenal. It's a little more posh on Princess, but I love their medallion technology that they have. You don't have to worry about telling anybody your name. They automatically know your name within 25 feet of you. So the technology that Princess has is just absolutely amazing. And it's just a whole different experience, right? Like if you go on Princess, you're going to be treated like a princess, quote unquote. But Princess and MSC are my top 2 cruise lines to try out.
So I saw this week where Celebrity is coming to Port Canaveral too, which is going to be be nice. And that's good for me because Port Canaveral is only 2 hours for me, so I can make Port Canaveral any day of the week. Meg says she's got plenty of time off, but limit on when she can take it. Eric said he wants to go to Alaska. Don't we all? That's my goal too. We gotta
Phenomenal. Oh my God. I just got back from Alaska not even 2 weeks ago. A little over 2 weeks ago.
Man. When are those vlogs coming out?
They're going to be coming out this week. This week, the kids went back to school, so it was a little harder to get a lot of time to get some content, done. But I got everything, all my files transferred over onto my hard drive. So I'm going to start working on everything over the next couple of days. The first one that drops is going to be Seattle. My Seattle vlog, traveling to Seattle, the hotel at Seattle, Pike Place Market, all that. But I went on the Luminosa, man. It was absolutely amazing. I enjoyed every minute of it. And I can tell you now, Alaska is going to be one of those destinations I hit every single year from here on out.
Yeah, that's where our 25th anniversary is next year. And of course, Riley graduates high school and we got a grandbaby next year. So I don't know what that entails, but if we can swing it at all, that's our goal for next year. But
yeah, and it was phenomenal. I was there when the salmon were running in Ketchikan, so you got to see the salmon swim up the creek, the spawn, and all that. It was absolutely amazing. Weather was perfect. I had very little rain. The only day I had rain was Ketchikan. I did the White Pass Summit excursion, took the White Pass train all the way up into Canada. It was phenomenal. I absolutely loved it.
Hey, Julie Thomas. Let's see what else we got here. The casino deals that come with Carnival make it hard to pass them up. I'd love to do an MSC maybe one day. I tell you what, we're not getting any deals hardly, Chuck, and it's getting ridiculous with Carnival. I don't know what we've got to do to get deals. I
can help you out. I just helped Chuck out on a 3-day Liberty cruise. He's getting some pretty awesome deals right about now.
I mean, Felicia's got nothing right now. I've got one deal right now that expires at the end of the month, but it's not really a deal. And I'm like, what in the world? So I think I'm gonna wait and see what happens with the booze cruise. But
the booze cruise is a casino deal for me, right? So I'm in a suite. I was in a balcony, but I know we needed a suite for the cabin crawl, so I changed the offer that I had to the suite offer. I'm in a suite with $200 on board credit, $500 in casino cash, and free drinks throughout the ship for me and my companion. Cost me less than $600.
Golly, yeah. Well, Felicia was booking some people on it, and everybody was like, "I got $500 on board credit. I got this. I got that," and we're like, "We're paying full price. This is ridiculous."
Yeah. It's tough, man. I spend time in the casino, so really,
I mean, in all honesty, I mean, I don't spend that. I average, probably on a cruise, I average $300 to $400 in the casinos, which is not a lot. Probably not enough to get the deals, but
I mean, it's enough to get a little something. But you're not going to see those big deals that everyone talks about with the high OBC and all that stuff.
I would just take a deal at this point. Like I said,
yeah,
they're not sending us anything. So my speculation is, as long as we got something booked right now, they're not sending me anything. So we'll wait. We don't have anything booked after the Glory on Carnival anyway. So we'll see what happens. But
see if we get anything else.
Kurt's wanting you to tell about your true fear of pineapples and about your upcoming cruises on the Glory.
So my true fear of pineapples is that they're gonna not exist anymore. It's my favorite fruit, right? Like everyone loves a good piece of fruit. Pineapple for me is my absolute favorite fruit, but I don't have a fear of pineapples. So when I started this YouTube, and pineapples weren't a big thing, right? Like a lot of people didn't talk about the upside down pineapple. Every now and then you would hear about it. I wanted to normalize the pineapple in the cruising community. So I started using the pineapple for everything. I used it for my logo. I have it on my backdrops. It's on my bracelets. I've given out pineapples. So if you've ever gotten like a squish, Eddie Lugo Studios, I know has gotten them. You ever get those little squish, like stress balls for me? It's a pineapple. My stamp that's on it got a pineapple on it. I wanted to normalize the pineapple because take away the stigma of it. Yeah. Right. Take away the stigma of it being for a swinger. It's for a sign of hospitality and welcome. So yes, pineapples to me mean something completely different. Now you have people that want to goof around and have a good time. I have no problem with it. You want to goof around, you want to throw a pineapple magnet on my door upside down, have at it. It's all fun and games, right? But my whole thing with it is to take away the stigma of this and turn it into a sign of hospitality and welcome and a good time. And everyone understands that it's only a single upside down pineapple that resembles this versus somebody wearing a pineapple shirt. Just because they got pineapples on doesn't mean that they are part of that lifestyle. They just enjoy the pineapple.
Don't steal the joy from the pineapple. I saw your vlog. We were watching your vlog. Was it Portugal?
Ponta Delgada, where I had that. Oh my God, Greg, let me tell you, that was the best pineapple I've ever ate in my life.
I saw
that
you enjoy it.
pineapple was this tall, maybe 4 inches tall, and it took them over 2 years to grow it in a glass greenhouse. The sweet, the sugars, it was just amazing. I can't wait to get back there.
I just liked how the port and everything else there looked. It was nice.
Yeah, it was a great port. The chicken we had over there, chicken peri. Oh man, I can't wait. I can't wait to get back over there. I'm a big foodie, man. Like that's my big thing, right? Like I love trying local cuisine and trying different foods. So anytime I can show somebody some local food and what's not like a Burger King or a McDonald's or anything like that, to try some local stuff out, definitely do it.
Robin Allison said next cruise is Pride from Tampa back to Baltimore, 14 nights to the ABCs. Yeah, that sounds like a really nice cruise. That ABC cruise is a pretty nice one from what I hear.
Aruba, Bonaire, Curacao, phenomenal ports, man. You ever been?
I have not. That's what I'm saying. We've been limited on our ports, so we
right
year, so we are branching out for sure.
So how many 7 days have you been on?
We haven't been on a 7 day. This will be our first
really?
7 day.
Oh, I'm excited. That's awesome.
Up till now, like I said, we've been on 9 or 10 cruises, and the longest we've been on is a 5 day.
That's awesome. So this will be your first 7 day. This will be your first longest. I think it's Kurt and Marcia's first 7 day too.
Like I said, because with our vacation time, we love to cruise, but in order to get the most bang for our buck, we had to do the 4 and 5 day cruises.
Right.
We didn't have that much vacation time. So, but that's all changing for us. So we're really going to branch out, and so we're looking forward to that. Najuma Brown's in the house. Hey, Najuma. Let's see. I don't want to miss. Captain's saying he's excited for his back-to-back on the Carnival Celebration. He got a casino deal, and he got a free MSC Seashore cruise. We're canceling our Seashore, I think it's Seashore cruise, for February the 11th next year because our grandbaby is due February the 26th. And that's just way too close to be out of the country.
And it's the first grandbaby, right?
Yeah, it is. We're a little bit nervous about that. So, yeah, I hate that because we were supposed to be on there with Kurt and Marcia and Lori and William from Journey with the Gingers. And so we've been planning it for over a year, and it's like, you got to be kidding me.
Kurt corrected me. This isn't not their first 7 day. They had a 7 and an 8 day. All right, Curtis, I apologize.
Yeah, everyone that knows See Me Traveling, if you haven't subscribed to See Me Traveling, Curtis and Marcia, make sure you go subscribe and make sure that you refer to Curtis as Curtis. Chuck said, if you spend $2,000 on your cruise, spend that much in the casino and watch the deals that come in from Carnival. Yeah, so, I've got some friends that won that much. They didn't spend that much, but they won that much, and now they've been getting deals out the wazoo.
I will agree with Chuck. You either spend that much or you win that much, and you're going to constantly get deals from Carnival every time you every time you turn around. Every time you turn around, you're going to get deals.
Sean's here from down under. How are y'all? Is it still cold, Sean, down there? Are y'all still freezing? Because you could send that up here, because I've got a picture on my phone from last Saturday with 111 degree heat index here.
Man, it's hot. It's been hot.
It's been ridiculous. Shane Norgren said, first time on the Glory, so excited, new ship to explore. It's a Conquest class ship, and it is they're pretty easy to navigate. I just wish it had a Red Frog pub. That's my only drawback with this ship.
There's no Red Frog?
There's no Red Frog pub. I mean, there's Red Frog Rum Bar out on
Red Frog Rum Bar, but no Red Frog pub. Okay.
But no pub. Yeah. Cap says I'm going to get hooked on the old 7 days. I'm sure I am. That's if Felicia doesn't throw me overboard on day 5.
I doubt that.
Have you had the pineapple fajita? I have not. Have you had a pineapple fajita?
I've never had a pineapple fajita, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to have one now.
Yep, Kurt was correcting you. So you're ahead of me in the chat. I'm trying to stay back
Oh,
here.
I just seen him pop up, and I wanted to apologize when we had a second, so I didn't get a phone call, or when I call him and be like, "Man, listen, this wasn't my first 7 day."
Yeah.
Kurt's my
Well,
buddy. We talk all the time. I call
my
and check
first
in
was
on him.
8-7, so when I take a 4, it will feel so short. Yeah. Just 4 days are really short. Not as short as a 3-day though, but man, I can't imagine.
The only downfall I don't like with the short cruises is by the time you actually feel like you're relaxed and enjoying it, it's time to get off the ship and go.
I haven't been on any 15-day cruises, Sean. I'm sure that Mike here has.
I have been on
The
celebration. The celebration was 14 days. The first Pride was 4 days, and then 13-day on that. So that was a back-to-back. So that's 13. 17 days was my longest. But I've done 2 transatlantics, and I absolutely loved it. My favorite part of all of that is the 6 or 7 straight sea days. It's absolutely phenomenal.
Sean's got his group cruise coming up. Is it 15 days, Sean? Your group cruise? Curious. Richard said it's a fajita inside a pineapple. Meg said, "Dang, grandbaby." I know. What can you do? Tell her to keep it in for another 3 or 4 weeks, and we can make this happen.
I wanted to talk to you too, because I was talking to Kurt the other day, and it's actually funny because I'm friends with your daughter on Facebook. She sent me a friend request, and the last name caught my attention because my oldest, his mom has that same last name. So when we had him, she gave him her last name. So my oldest, his last name's McCann.
Really?
So when I seen that pop up, I was like, "Oh, what a weird coincidence that my son has the same last name."
That's cool. She's a married McCann now. Sean, we've been over this. I have no idea what 2 degrees Celsius overnight last night is.
Cold.
I'm going to assume that's cold though. You'd have to do the math for me, Sean. You know I'm not that smart. Let's see. Just book short cruises together back to back to back. It still doesn't solve my problem in my vacation there, Captain. We all heard of pineapples on pizza, but what about pizza on pineapple?
34 degrees is 2 degrees Celsius. I just Googled it.
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. Helping me out.
It's actually 35.6. And
Lisa's in the house. Hello, dear. I had to wear your white hat for Paul earlier. I don't think he was in here, though. So there he is. 15 days out of Sydney. The average cruise out of Australia is 12 to 15 days. That would be amazing. I would love to be able to do that.
Carnival sends me great offers for Australia, and then I look at them, and I'm like, I can make this work. And then I go and I look at the airfare, and I'm like, I can't make this work.
Kara is not the crypto queen. The person that hijacked her Facebook is the crypto queen. But thanks for sharing. Way to Google there, Mike. So tell me this, after watching your content. Hey, Bruce is in the house. Hey, Bruce. From Ocean. So watching your content, what do you use? I always ask everybody this because I'm a nerd for this stuff. What do you use to film with?
So it depends, right? So it depends on the day, like how I'm feeling that day. So I use my iPhone 14 Pro Max for a lot of my footage. So a lot of my stuff will be shot on my phone. Super, super simple, super easy. One of the best things I use, because all my products are Apple, so they go hand in hand. I can AirDrop to my computer. I can AirDrop to my iPad. I can edit shorts and all that right off my iPad and then post it right from there. So it makes it super simple. I use a GoPro Hero 8. I have an Insta360, the Insta 2. I have a Canon M50 and a Mark III. They are my main shooting cameras. I have a Rebel T7 that I use for like my still pictures and stuff like that. But mainly when I shoot, if I'm going out for the day, I'm usually bringing the Mark III and the iPhone with me. They're my 2 main cameras that I'll film with. My Insta is used pretty much just for those 360 shots. If I'm out on a boat ride and I'm trying to get that little shot of like that drone flyby shot without the drone, I use the Insta 360. And my GoPro is pretty much 99.9% of the time used for time lapse.
That's cool. Yeah, we're basically Canon M50 almost all the time. Other than I do have the, where's that? I got it right here. As a matter of fact, other than I have this little ditty, the good old Pocket
Osmo.
Yep, I have that one, the original one. I use it some like we're going important. I don't want to carry the camera, something I can stick
Right.
just this in my pocket.
Now,
But
how's the audio on that?
it's actually pretty good. I can't tell the difference, really between it and the M50 most of the time.
Now, can you hook up an external mic on there?
No, you can't. So that's the only drawback. And so wind noise and all that, might get you a little bit sometimes. But the really cool thing about it for vlogging is, it's 3 clicks of the button flips the camera around to you.
Right.
So it's, you're filming like this and all of a sudden you want to talk, you just hit 3 times and the camera spins around and it's facing you. Whereas the M50, obviously if I'm out filming, I want to talk to the camera, I've literally got to spin it around.
Right.
I've got a gimbal for it, but I hardly ever use the gimbal. I haven't got used to using it. I hadn't got comfortable with it. So
yeah. And I use a gimbal for my phone for a lot of the shots, but I use the new DJI 6, the Pocket 6. Super small, super compact, folds right up, puts it in your pocket. It extends like a selfie stick. And it's just like the Osmo, 3 clicks and it rotates the camera, flips it 180, 360. So
what are you filming in? You filming in 4K? You filming in 1080, 60,
4K.
30?
Yeah, usually 4K.
Are you editing in 4K and uploading 4K, or are you?
I'm editing in 4K. Depending on the camera, it'll depend on like the edit process, right? So like I do everything through Final Cut Pro. So with uploading it in Final Cut Pro from my phone, I have to change it into an SDR file. So it will drop it a little bit, but I always edit and then upload into MP4. And then I put the MP4 onto YouTube. So I try to keep it as close to 4K as possible. Sometimes it's not always, at that 4K mark, but it's still great resolution. And everything like flows perfect. So
see, I'm in search of a camera in my price range that's got 4K dual pixel autofocus, because I like the M50, but it doesn't have it. So I'm shooting 1080, right. 30 frames per second. I'm sure Kurt will correct us if we say something wrong here, but Curtis, he's the technical guru, and but
that's why I use my iPhone for a lot, man, because the cameras on the iPhone are absolutely incredible. They are absolutely incredible.
Yeah, I really need to upgrade, because it's not going to be long. I mean, if you're not doing 4K, because it's getting to 6K now, and
right.
If you're not doing 4K, you're not going to be keeping up. But I don't know. It's just hard to keep up with the technology. Curtis is suddenly a tech guru. Yes. Yeah, Curtis is
he's a secret tech guru. And look, he says, huh?
He said he didn't understand a word that we're saying. Yeah, I figured when you said everything you had was Apple, that you were using Final Cut Pro. I'm still using Adobe Premiere Pro.
Man, Final Cut Pro is great. It's super simple. It's super easy. And if you have like an iPad Pro, you can download Final Cut Pro for your iPad. So I can literally take what I'm working on my computer, if I'm working on it on the Macintosh, not off of a hard drive, right? And then I can just transfer that over to the iPad, and I can continue to keep working on the iPad to edit and all that. And the good thing is like I use Epidemic Sound for all my music.
Yeah.
So all of that is accepted through Final Cut Pro, no matter what it is that you use, right? And then I can just upload right to YouTube, whether it's from my phone, my iPad, my computer, and everything works simultaneously together. That's the one great thing I love about Apple.
Yeah.
Is it all works together.
Yeah, we use our iPhones for some. That's the thing, trying to get it all to work together. Because I'm still using Windows here, so it doesn't play nice with when I pull the iPhone files over. So I really can't see them on here at times until I import them into Premiere Pro. But
yeah, and that's the issue I have every now and then with the Insta360, right? Because like the Insta360 is just a camera. All the magic with that happens in the editing software. But Final Cut Pro and Adobe and all that don't pick up that Insta360 editing software. So you have to do all that in the Insta360 app.
Yeah.
So that's where I edit all that stuff. So I pretty much use that for a lot of shorts, 360 small planet type stuff. But it's an awesome little camera. Don't get me wrong. It's a great little camera to have in your arsenal.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of people use those, but you're saying you got to go out and edit all the footage that you want off of it and then import that.
You edit it in their app that comes with it. And it's a good little app. It runs great. It's not a bad app at all. And the one thing I like about it is you can use it in 360 or 180, right? So you can use it to take pictures just like you would with a GoPro. You can use it to film time lapse like you would with a GoPro. My sole purpose with it is just that 360 degrees of footage, right? And it gives you that drone shot. So like on certain cruise lines like MSC where you can't have a drone, you use the Insta360. If you got a 10-foot long selfie stick, the whole selfie stick's going to disappear within the software. So it literally looks like you're flying a drone up top. Mm-hmm. So it's a great piece to have in your arsenal if you don't have a drone or can't use a drone at certain ports and things like that. So
I'm interested to see when we get on the booze cruise with all the different creators, what all different pieces of gear that people are going to bring and be using. So,
it's crazy, man. You're going to see me with so much stuff, and I'm probably not even going to use half of it.
Yeah, I've scaled mine down from what we used to take. I don't care nearly as much stuff as I used to. So, it's the longer you do it, the more you realize and you get better at knowing how much footage you need and what to film and what not to film and all that. And so, it's good, but it's going to be fun to be able to, I know we've already been warned. I don't know if you've been warned, if Kurt told you this, but we've already been warned by Felicia and Marcia and them that we can't sit around and just talk shop the whole time.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I heard we got that warning a couple weeks ago. And I mean, listen, if we have to make an event where we powwow about tech and all that, and the ladies can go get pampered for an hour or whatever, then so be it.
I'm looking forward to it with getting Josh on there and hearing, his side of it and everybody, but just getting to know everybody. But real quick, I mean, we only got a few more minutes. Tell me about this peer-to-peer travel chats you and Josh got going on.
So peer-to-peer travel chats was started by the Moonlight Adventures and myself. We are doing a monthly podcast at the moment, hoping to do more than a monthly podcast. It is just two guys talking shop peer-to-peer, right? So you take the word peer, it's a play on words. It's P-I-E-R, peer-to-peer, me and him as peers. Having a good time, and we bring on a special guest every podcast we have. So last podcast we did was with his son and his daughter-in-law and their grandchild, and next is on the 29th with Coach Cruz. So September we have Mike Lovelace from Lovey's Fat Life, and October is still a secret, so we're not giving out that information yet. But it's a monthly podcast. You can find it on Spotify. We do go live on YouTube for the podcast as well. We don't interact with the chat. Our moderators will interact because we are taking it and turning it into a podcast. But it's an awesome little way to talk about cruising content or upcoming plans we have, travel arrangements, things like that, different ports, and just the ins and out of the cruising space. And we'd love to have you there Monday the 29th at, I believe, 9:30. This one is at 9:30, but the thumbnail's already out. So check out Moonlight Adventures. He's got a thumbnail already out, generated and all that. And then we have one. We're actually doing 2 in September. So we have Tyler. He's going to be on there in September as well. And Mike Lovelace from Lovey's Fat Life. So check it out. It's awesome. It's on Spotify right now. It's called Peer to Peer.
Yep. Go check it out. Yeah, that's cool. Richard Santing, we get back. I mean, we leave October the 29th. So whatever day y'all get back, that's the same day. Well, no, because the Valor and Glory aren't in port the same day, I don't think.
I think we get back, what's it, the 5th? November 5th?
Oh, we get back on November the 5th. That's right. But I don't think, I don't know the Glory, they have 2 ships in port the same day because there's only one terminal there. We
get back November 5th. Daylight savings time ends.
But if we do, Richard, man, it'd be cool to meet up. Any of the boys are hanging like a man. Thanks for dropping by, Mike. Nice. Shane said, nice to meet you. So we appreciate everybody coming by this week and hanging with us, Mike. It was great to have you on. What you got coming up?
I appreciate it, man. I look forward to the Alaska vlogs. They're going to be coming very, very soon, starting with Seattle. An amazing hotel tour in Seattle, an amazing Pike Place Market tour, and then I boarded the one and only Carnival Luminosa for 7 days up the Puget Sound, seeing whales jump out of the water, killer whales, blue whales, all different types of sea life, amazing mountains and all of that. I felt like I was in the wild, wild west. I took a train ride to the Mountain Jaw in Canada, so be sure to check that out, coming very, very soon in the near future. And the next adventure for me is the booze cruise. So if you're going on the booze cruise, look for this handsome face, and I will see you there.
Cool. Well, man, it's been awesome chatting with you, and we'll be talking to you very soon. I appreciate you joining me, pal.
Appreciate you having me on, man.
All right, we'll talk to you soon. See you guys.